Welcome to practice. We're going to begin laying down, my favorite, and bring a blanket, long, narrow bolster sheet or a rolled up towel under your shoulder blade. This is such a simple way of counteracting the aging spine, of supporting the body to embed the bones of the spine forward into the front of the torso, rather than the bones of the middle back between your shoulder blades looking like a stegosaurus back. Ah, and you can do neutral legs here, hip width, and feet hip width and parallel, or Supta Baddha Konasana, or even straight legs. Whichever one feels like a good start to your practice. Mm. Finding the flow of your breath. Bring your elbows out from the shoulders, so make a cactus shape. So elbows are 90 degrees. And notice if the back of the hands touch the floor, or maybe one does, one doesn't. Maybe neither do. And let's imagine a sandbag. Not too heavy, just what you can manage in your hands, the palms of your hands. Gently coaxing the back of the hand towards the floor. And if you're uneven from side to side, like I am, imagine a heavier bag in the side that might need a little more coaxing. Finding the flow of your breath. Feel the shape of your spine and ribs. The movement of breath. Every joint between the ribs moving with the breath. Check in with your neck, that you're relaxed there. Notice where you might be able to let go of tension in the shoulders, around your heart, in the hips. We begin this practice in the flow of breath. With a curiosity and compassion for the body. Good, and then we're going to let go of that sandbag weight so the arms are relaxed. Bring the arms and legs in and rolling to your right. And come into forward Virasana. And kneeling towards the back of your mat with arms forward. Big toes touching, knees wide enough for the belly to be comfortable. Easing your spine into the front of the body, lengthening the spine. Stretching your fingers out wide and coming up into an all fours position. Arching the spine up and down. Follow the flow of your breath. Tuck the toes under and come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Let the head really hang down here and even turn the head from side to side, nod a little, really relaxing your neck. Feel the flow of breath and we'll start to swing the hips from side to side. Noticing the movement of the ribs with the movement of the hips and with the breath. Let yourself be centered. Bend the knees a little bit more and open the chest a little bit more. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring the shoulders forward over the wrists. So we're in a slightly bent-legged plank position. And step your right knee to the right wrist. And then back into that, not quite downward facing dog pose. We've got the legs a little bit bent, but open the chest. Good. So we move the shoulders back. And then we move the shoulders forward. Sort of a soft plank position. Bring the left knee towards the left wrist. And then back. Really opening the chest and the armpits. Good. We're going to do a couple more on each side. Right knee, right wrist. Opening the armpits and the chest. Feeling the flow of your breath as you bring the left knee forward, left wrist. Press your fingerprints down. Press down on the inside of the fingers. Right knee, right wrist. Left knee, left wrist. And then take child's pose and rest your hand, wrists, your shoulders. Feeling the flow of breath. That energetic movement of the practice in your body, even though you're being relatively still here. And then arms forward again. And this time from forward Virasana, we're going to bring the elbows onto the floor. So the forearms are parallel. And stretch your fingers and your thumbs and walk your knees back. Take the chest now towards the front of the knees or the floor. Maybe your forehead can rest onto the floor or keep the back of your neck long if you don't quite reach. And opening the chest and the armpit. And you might feel that part of the spine between the shoulder blades, those bones drawing into the front of the body again. And what that feels like in the upper back. Relaxing your neck. Letting go of tension where you can, but also appreciating where the body might be tense. Good. And then bring the shoulders forward so they're over the top of your elbows. Walk the knees forward a little. Tuck the toes under. And lift your knees just off the floor. We're going to press the chest towards the legs again. Your head might be able to just hang down here. So your legs are bent. Feeling the flow of breath. Each fingerprint pressing gently. Lengthening the armpits, opening the chest. Nice work. Release your knees, release your arms, and take child's pose again. Resting your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Feeling the flow of breath. And that energy that wakes up in the body as you practice. Arms forward, hands forward, forward virasana. Downward facing dog pose or Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Wide, even spaces between your fingers. Press your fingerprint. Let your head just hang down. And if it feels nice to move your head around a little bit to relax your neck, do that until you can really feel long and relaxed in the neck. Good. We're going to press the heels down now. Lift the kneecaps, the quadriceps, the front of the thighs, the sit bones, the back of the thighs. Good. So from this straight leg downward facing dog pose, really pressing your heels. Let's bring the right knee forward to the right wrist again. Plank position, one leg. Beautiful. Step back. Downward facing dog pose. Left knee forward to the left wrist. Plank position. Good. Feel the internal muscular support. Downward facing dog pose. Good. Right knee, right wrist. Again, feel the core of the body really switched on here. Back to downward facing dog pose. And left knee, left wrist. Beautiful. We're going to walk forward. So little steps until you run out of room. And then we're going to roll and take the arms up. Urdhva Tadasana. In Tadasana, feel the front of the body lifting. Good. Bring the arms out from the shoulders. Turn the palms up and the thumbs, back. Palms are going to go up and thumbs back in little circles. We're going to really be engaging muscle between the shoulder blades. Feel that powerful lift in the front of your leg, front of the thighs, front of the hips. Lower back is long and neck relaxed. Nice work. Bring the hands in front of your heart and press them. Draw the shoulder blades down and feel the lift in the front of the body. Let's balance a little bit. Left foot, we're going to stand into the left foot and lift the right leg up. I'm going to feel around with that right foot, so keep it moving. Keep the toes moving, the ankle moving. Feel around as far as you can reach in a big circle around your standing leg, even behind you. Even crossing the right leg behind the left leg. As you keep pressing your hand, keep that connection to your upper back, drawing the shoulder blades down. Bring the leg back out in front, the right leg, back out in front. And when you place it with the intention to land hip width and parallel. And then balancing in your right leg. Left leg out in front. As though you're feeling around in the air for something. I don't know what. Something good. Reach all the way around. Even behind you. And over to the right. And come back to the front. Keep your foot moving, your toes moving. Up to the front. And when you place the leg, do so with intention to land width and parallel. Mountain front. Close your eyes for a moment. Enjoy the body lengthening, the shoulder blades reaching down, the flow of your breath. We're going to turn side on to the mat now and take a wide-legged distance. We're going to turn the heels out and lower the hips. When you drop the hips like this, we want to lift the pelvic floor, front and back of the body. Imagine like a lift, elevator, lifting through the story of the building. But lowering as much as you can, your hips, knees. Feeling that you're supported from the inside out. Nice work. We're going to bend one leg and straighten the other. You're keeping your hips as low to the ground as you can, but really lifting pelvic floor, lower front abdomen. Lots of nice and clap in my hips. All right, back to center. Let's take the arms straight up, lowering the hips, but lifting the pelvic floor. Beautiful. And then we'll straighten the legs. We're going to jump heavily back to feet under the hips. Nice little stamp. A jolt for the bone. Tadasana. Okay, and then we're going to take little jumps. They can be light or heavy, whatever feels good. Back out to about your own leg length distance. Let's turn the left foot out at 90 degrees and the right foot in. And this is for Trikonasana. So we've got the left heel lining up with the center of the right foot in the arms from the shoulders. Let's reach the left arm. And as you reach your left arm, imagine your arms are horizon parallel. Not the quite right description. Parallel to the floor, but reaching to the horizon. And let your left hip crease keep folding in nice and deeply, a satisfying fold. Beautiful. And then take your arms to the vertical so that the collarbones feel like you're reaching them apart. And the palm, the right palm, faces forward. Good. And then we're going to find the strong leg, aware feet, and start rolling back the right hip and the right ribs so the heart feels like it's shining upward. And finding your breath, the flow of breath. And let yourself reach here where it feels good. Mm. Mm. Trikonasana. Rolling the right rib down. And turn your head with ease to your neck. Look up at the ceiling. Do that, otherwise look forward. We really need to get that turn in happening in the lower back and the ribs so it's easier for the neck. Beautiful. Feel your strong legs, your strong core as you lift up. And let's go to the second side. Finding your feet and strong legs. Lift the kneecaps. Beautiful. Now reaching with the arms so they're horizontal, parallel to the floor and reaching to the horizon. Completing words. Beautiful. Right hand down and left arm up. So that you feel like you're reaching your collarbones apart. Okay, we're going to take the left hip back, the left rib back, shining the heart upward towards the side. Strong legs, feeling your feet. Try to have the toe print sharing the work, but not gripping. Find the flow of your breath. That compassionate curiosity for your body. Keep the shoulders from squishing your neck. So shoulder blades reach back. Neck is long. As the ribs turn, you can look up at the ceiling a little more. With the sky. Here we are, between sky and earth. Ah, full, that satisfying breath. And then inhale, coming up. We'll turn the feet to the front. We're going to jump in heavily or lightly. Feet under the hip, Tadasana. Mountain pose. Feel the lift in the front of the leg, the belly, the breastbone, the top of the head. Beautiful. Jump your feet out or wiggle them out. A little bit longer than your leg length. Ah. Turn your left toes out and your right toes in. And we're going to try, we're going to bend the left leg. And we're going to warm up that movement by dipping into the bend of that leg as deeply as your knee allows. And lifting back up again. I'm going to do that a few times. Keep that lift of the pelvic floor. A powerful internal muscular support. Good. Let's turn the legs to the other direction and do that same thing for the right leg. So lifting the pelvic floor, finding your feet. Nice work. Turn back to the first side. And we're going to step the back leg in a little bit. The right leg in. What we're going to try and do here is we're warming up towards Ardha Chandrasana. So I want you to take the weight into your left leg. Maybe your right toes can come off the floor. Maybe you just walk them in a little bit so you're right up on your tiptoes there. But we're going to take the weight into the left foot. And if you can balance, then we're just going to bring the hands at the hips and try to roll the right hip back. Nice long. Hopefully there's quite a lot of wobbling going on in your foot, your leg. Good. And then we're going to swap sides. Okay, so we want to take more weight into the right foot. The right foot's parallel to the edges of the mat. Step your left foot in until you can take that weight in your right foot. And then maybe you can lift the left foot off the floor as well. With the hands at the hips, we're trying to roll the left hip back. So we bring the torso towards the long edge of the mat. Feeling all those little wobbles. Do a little bit more. Little wobbles in the right leg. Nice work. Come back to center and let's swap sides again. So we've got the left foot parallel to the edges of the mat. Let's try it again. Appreciating all those little wobbles in the foot and the hip. Those however many times you need to catch yourself. So your right toes can stay on the floor if you need that for your balance, or you can be lifting up. You've got a fair amount of balance here to keep rolling the right hip back. Stretch out through the right leg. Should feel like the left leg's really working to hold you. Stable, beautiful. And then swap sides. Right leg, right foot, parallel to the edges of the mat. And walking the left foot in. And keep your left tip toes on the floor. Good. If you have your balance, you'll feel your right foot really wobbling. Good. Rolling back the left hip. So you could open the heart towards the ceiling again. Nice work. Feet back down. This time, wider feet. Turn the toes out. Take the arms up. We're going to take the arms behind and hold the forearms or the elbows or prayer position. A little bit of a back bend. And then forward bending. Keeping the bones of the spine. Good. Bend the knees. Lift the pelvic floor. Lengthen the torso. Look forward. Feel the shape in the upper back. Good. Try straightening one leg and bending the other. Feeling the flow of breath. To center, release your hands underneath the shoulders, looking forward. And we're going to turn the toes in now and the heels out and straighten the leg. Can reach your hands further forward, do that. Bring the ears closer to the biceps. Lifting kneecaps, quadriceps. Feeling the flow of breath, the energetic lift in your legs and the lengthening of your spine. Beautiful. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. Now we're going to try and sit from here. And you sit in a way that's safe for you to do so. I'm going to wiggle my feet in until they're sort of hip width. And then lower into a squat. And give my feet a big stretch by swinging from side to side so that my feet are flexible enough to cope with that last little bit of the sit down. Oh. bring a blanket to sit on. Fold it on the short end to a little pillow shape. Simple cross leg. And if that doesn't suit your needs, it just doesn't work, put your legs out semi-wide. But finding the balance of your spine. Good. And then we're going to bring our spinal wave movement into the spine. And we're going to lead with the chin and the occiput of the spine. So get those parts of the body moving to the horizon. And they sort of travel horizontal to the floor and let your spine follow. Those little micro movements of your forward and back movement. You know what happens to the belly? You might even be getting a abdominal massage here, depending on how big you make your movement. There happens to be another direction to this. See if you can coordinate that. Even what you're finding is awkward, an awkward feeling in the body. Appreciating where you're at. Nice. And now balance the spine. And as you breathe, of course, even though we're intending to be still, the body is moving. All those little movements that happen when we're trying to balance on one leg. The intention is to stillness. But when we breathe, everything is moving. We're going to reach out to the right side. Put your hand on the floor, right hand on the floor. And you're going to reach in a line straight out from your hip as far as is comfortable for you. You can put your elbow on the floor if you have a lot of movement in this direction. And we'll take the left arm by the left ear. See how the body wants to roll forward. Try to lift the heart to face up, the left rib rolling back. And then we're going to wave the spine up to go to the other side. So we've got a sideways movement now. And left hand down onto the floor, reach over to your left side and reach just as far as your back is comfortable with. Reach your right arm by your right ear, roll the right knee. Heart shining up. Good. And then wave your ribs, lifting by the ribs and lifting your whole spine. We're going to wave a little bit from side to side now, using your diaphragm as the leader. And again, feeling all of that supple and subtle movement along the spine. We're going to turn both legs to face, so the feet are on the right side of your right hip. And place your feet so your knees are comfortable enough. Sometimes putting that blanket more under just the left hip bone helps you to sit up a little easier. If there's tightness in the legs and the hips, you can even double that over. And we're going to turn to the left side, Baradha Bhajasana. Right hand on the left leg, turning the ribs. Left rib back. Looking back over your left shoulder. Shoulder blades relaxing down. With the exhalation, let the ribs turn into the space left by the diaphragm. The diaphragm moving out of the belly. Nice work. And come back to the center. And then we're going to swap over. So the feet swing around to the left hip. And we're going to turn to the right side. Finding that you can lengthen your spine, turn your ribs. And then when you find the breath, feel what's happening with the diaphragm at the lower cross section of the ribs. The diaphragm moves down into the belly cavity when you breathe in, feel the lung. And as you exhale, the diaphragm moves back up into the lung cavity. And there's more room to move. Finding that space in your body. Good. And then releasing. And we're going to lay down without the blanket. Bent leg, hip width, parallel. Lift the hips and slide on the skin of your shoulder blade, your head away from your feet. Such a nice movement. And then when you lay the weight of your hips back to the floor, the spine is long. Feeling the flow of your breath. And maybe the body is tingling a little from the practice. We're going to just bring the inside edges of the feet together now and lift your hips, swing them to the left and take the knees to the right. So keep your left shoulder blade on the floor and you can turn your head to look in that direction. Little bit extra stretch here. Bend the left knee towards the right shoulder, so lift it higher. And if you can take hold of your foot or your knee, try to straighten your right leg. Maybe it doesn't go all the way to straight. Cool. And release. Use your core awareness. So when you lift your legs, there's plenty of powerful support for the spine. Back to center with the inside edges of the feet together, knees together. Hips lift and they go right and knees go left. arms out from the shoulders and just letting yourself take the shape of the posture. Mm. And that last little stretch, if you'd like to add here, bring the right knee to the left shoulder. And if you can hold your foot or your knee, try to get your right leg a little bit straighter. And releasing. Bring your awareness to your whole core. So when you lift your leg, lots of muscular support. Good. And then coming back to center, hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. And rolling to your right side and coming up to sitting. Bring all of that subtle movement into sitting. Feeling the breath moving in your body. And bring your hands together in front of you. Take the feeling of the practice. Namaste.